today, what we're gonna do, excuse me, ma'am, is there any way you can stop making that infernal noise? Yeah. Here we go. We're gonna make tortillas, all right? Tortillas. And I like to grow my own corn and grind my own masa, but that's really ambitious. We may do something about that this fall because I do have some blue corn in the ground. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a cup of masa, actually a cup and a half. So we'll start with the cup. You wanna touch that and see what it's like, Frankie?
Yeah.
Okay, touch it.
Eat it.
Well, eating it isn't necessarily the best idea you've ever had. So we just use a cup and then a half a cup, like so. And if it makes a little mess, that's okay because it's not a very precise recipe, so that is a little bit more than a half a cup. There we go. All right. And you want to feel some more of it? You can, absolutely. All right, so then what we do is we put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I just use iodized salt, which is fine, and just scrape it out of the thing so you get a 1/4 cup, if I can do that without causing trouble. There we go. Boom, like so. And then we're gonna use, I forget how many tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of lard. Now I wanna talk about the lard for a second. Using lard in corn tortillas is well known as sacrilege among our Latinx friends. And I don't really know why, no one's ever really given me the story behind that, but I use lard because it makes my tortillas more supple and, in my opinion, more elastic, so they'll hold up when you put stuff in them. And one of the big problems that I think people have with tortillas is that they tend to break down, so they're no fun to work with. And so I just cheat. But there actually are recipes out there on the internet with lard, but they generally talk about the fact that it's sacrilege too. All right, Frankie, now watch your fingers. So we've got the lard and the salt in there. Do not stick your fingers in here, because it'll break your finger as sure as looking at it. So you don't want that. In the meantime, you're getting some water hot, and I have this handy little item that gets water hot really fast. So we're gonna make sure that all this is combined. We'll scrape down the sides a little bit. Make sure everything's mixed together. So we have a good suspension of the lard and the salt in there. Now our water's hot, and generally you wanna think about a cup of hot water. So you can just see that right here. And it might not take all of it. And this is where feel comes in. Francis, are you actually eating that? Oh, God. Don't let your kid do that, okay? And then you just pour in some hot water. And the hot water, kind of activates the starches in the corn, and it gets it going. And you want to actually do this, once again, by feel. And we'll show you what we mean in a second here. Let me just get it together. And some people like to do this in a food processor. You can do it by hand if you're really a glutton for punishment. Would we do that by hand, Frankie? Wait, I got an idea. Instead of that, let's give you some chips and some guacamole, all right? Because you really don't want to be eating that, honey. Stop. All right, now, take a look at this, Frankie. I want you to get It's gooey, right. Let's get a feel for it. Now, stick your fingers in there. It's gonna be warm, so be careful. It's actually kind of hot. Feel it. What do you think? Yeah, so this is tortilla. This is masa mixed together, all right? And so this, what you do is you wanna let this rest for a couple minutes. Actually, you can rest it overnight. I throw it in the fridge. And through the miracle of video, we happen to have some made right here. So now that we've got the tortilla mix done, what we do is we use a scoop. And so this will give you the right size scoop. You can get the kids to help with this if you want. This one's a good one. It's about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. Then what you do is you cut up a grocery bag. This is a Bed Bath & Beyond bag for some reason. And that is the thing that you want to put in this handy tortilla press, which you can get on Amazon for about 20 bucks. And it's really worthwhile. So you just press it like that, take the top off, and then put the thing out, like so. And then you just throw it in the pan. And you want to let it sit in there to get brown, lightly brown on one side, and then you can flip it, and we'll do that in a minute. We'll be right back with that. Okay? Francis, you've got stuff all over your... All right, watch, Frankie. You want to press it with me? You can do it. Watch. Come on over here. Here, let me slide you over. And you can be the person pressing the tortilla. So pull that lever down. Smush it really hard. Let's see then what we have here. Let's open it up. Oh my, it's a tortilla. Now leave it be for now, because we got to get this other one out of here. So here we go. Let's flip this guy. Not as brown as we'd like, but that's okay. You can flip it over once or twice. All right, let's see now. So that's your tortilla.
That's mine.
And what I like to do is I like to just take a tea towel, and when I get a little bit of color on them if we want, but as long as they're set up, it's good. And if you let them sit out without the tea towel, what ends up happening is you end up getting them kind of dry. A little bit of pan spray. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to nail you in the head there, Frankie. You want to make another tortilla with me?
I'm gonna eat it though.
Okay, you can eat it after, but you can't eat the tortilla mix because that's just nasty.
But I like it.
You don't want to give a bad example to the other kids watching, do you?
Yes, I do.
Why? You're going to corrupt the poor little nippers?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay, ready? Press and squish. Let's do it together. Arr, smush.
I see it.
So that's how you make tortillas, and you can keep doing this and just keep them warm so you can have them all for, and then you can just serve them all. And we're going to do another recipe in a minute here, which will be under a separate segment that'll show you how to use the tortillas.
Sorry, Daddy.
You can use them for tacos, or in her case, we're going to make a quesadilla. I know you spilled it. That's okay. Now that we've made tortillas, you can just have a taco night, which is fine, where you have your tortillas and you lay them out on the table and everybody makes a taco out of them. Or you could also make quesadillas for the kids, or for yourselves for that matter. So for a quesadilla, I have like a medium heat on the stove, and I throw the tortilla in there, and then I give it a little bit of cheese, and adults would want some salsa, but we're doing this for Frankie, who had a bit of a meltdown, so she had to take a powder, which is fine. So then you just put some meat in here, and this is the easiest, simplest thing you've ever seen. It's kind of like a Central American grilled cheeser, if you will. So all this is taco meat made with turkey. You can do crumbled tofu with a taco seasoning. You can do beef. You can do pork. If you're really feeling crazy, you can do lamb. Not a good idea though. Just kidding. So then you take another one of these tortillas and you put it on top, and you just toast them off. And you notice at the beginning, I put a little bit of butter in, and the butter helps for color and for flavor, because who doesn't like butter? So you can just cover your tortillas up, and when you get some color, which we have, then you're gonna flip it over. And if you need to, you can put just a little bit more butter in the pan, which is what I'm gonna do. Lift this guy up, throw some butter in, and then throw the tortilla back on there. And what it does, the thing about the quesadilla thing is it makes a crispy component to it, whereas tacos are soft, and they're great. I love tacos. But for little kids, this is a really big crowd pleaser. So that's what we'll do. I'm gonna let this cook for another minute. I'll go get a plate, and we can do plating, and maybe Frankie will come back and she'll eat some of this. We'll see. You should always have a knife here ahead of time, which I did not have. And all you want to do is then you can cut it to the shape you want. I like to make 6 pieces because it makes a nice little design on the plate. So here's the part where you can introduce, you know,
Mom.
maybe some broccoli or some other veg, because you can lay it around the plate like this, and it's really appetizing looking. And then you can put some of this here, maybe. Well, another thing we could do is we could introduce the concept of sour cream or crema. And would you like some on there or just on the side? Right here? Okay, very well. And there's that. So Frankie, what do you think of the quesadilla? Is it totally yummy, kind of yummy, not so yummy, or yuck?
Yeah, really yummy.
Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. So as you can see, Frankie liked the quesadilla, which when you're doing the taco night thing, you know, you can make these things and then make a couple of quesadillas ahead of time, let them cool, because you notice that Frankie doesn't like things that are too terribly hot or terribly spicy. And then you can just lay out a bunch of stuff, which is what we do. We lay out, well, cheese and sour cream, and I make guacamole, and we buy some good salsa. Occasionally I'll make salsa. And then if you want to make it really adult, you can do like a jicama slaw, or you can do some grill roasted onions and jalapenos and poblano peppers, so you have something really nice to put in the tacos, and you just lay the tacos out on the table. All this stuff is laying out there, and everybody can just pick or choose, and really it's a great way to have fun and to, you know, enjoy your dinner with some folks. And their kids. Don't forget the kids.